Expensive to live in New York City. You better have a couple of side hustles. Anybody with one job in New York City, you got major problems.
It will always be much easier for you as a Nigerian staying in abroad, especially those of you in US, to survive with the leftover after you've paid your bills from your salary. It will always be much easier because as Africans, as Nigerians, we are programmed to understand that you save for the future, mile dongwe. So the whole ideology of when a Nigerian staying in abroad or a Nigerian staying in the United States of America specifically earn $1,000 and he or she has been able to pay the bills of $500 for rent, $50 for bill, blah 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 blah, and one grocery and everything, and you still have $200 left. Then you can save from the $200. It's going to be very much easier for you to think and to admit that $200 for saving is a good money. First of all, dollar supersede and is more supreme to naira. So before you come into the talks of minimum wages, you need to first of all understand the economy and the value of the currency of the country you are trying to compare to Nigeria. Because America, also, it be like say, also don't make honor, forget to they read and to keep up. You're talking about United States of America, a country that literally stole almost every country resources and making sure that whenever there is trade everywhere in the world, it's being done in dollars. You're comparing it to naira. And whenever you want to talk, you talk about minimum wages and you try to compare it. You're talking about a country that has put a system in place to make sure that no matter what you make, you will always be in debt to them. It is always going to be much easier for you as a citizen of another country that is, let me say, a citizen of another country that their currency has lesser value. It is always going to be very much easier for you to worship the currency of the country where you are in because there's value added in their country. An average United States of American person complains on what they make after they've purchased everything they want to purchase out of their income. They still complain madly. They still complain massive. That things you're not taking note of. Now, this is what you need to understand. Recently, I read that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was talking about how they want to implement minimum wages to be an hour thing. But if they implement this law, how many companies are ready to execute it? That is a situation whereby if you work for 1 hour, you're probably getting maybe 11K. In US, it should be like $7.05 or so. To them, it is like a loss. All the old administrations that left, these are things they also have put in place. If it has started with likes of the Unilevers and all these companies that are now leaving Nigeria or that have left, I don't think we'll find ourselves in this situation. If you're paying me per hour. So it is much easier for you people whenever we try to let you see what the current administration is trying to do. It is much easier for those of you that are lost in the United States of America that thinks, oh, this is how it should be because it works there. It is much easier for you to run your mouths. But if you do the background check of these different countries, you will see why United States of America, their working structure, salary and wages structure, why it is always going to be ahead of the ones here in Nigeria or in Africa. Because it is not as if we have one country we want to go and steal their crude oil, or we want to go and steal their gold, we want to go and implement our own laws, we want to create conflict so that the government and the people can start fighting. We don't have that kind of resources, we don't have that kind of power to create conflict between countries or to create conflict between the government and its people so that we can steal from them so that our dollar can rise. And at the end of the day, this structure that they still put in place, you are still taking it. Why do you think you people are in debt? Like, you can't own what you claim to own. Your car is you bought your car with your money and you don't even own it. The houses most of you are staying in with your money, you don't even own it compared to the way it is in this country. Why is it that most of you still always want to buy houses in Nigeria? I don't know, but for me, I'll continue encouraging this administration. I'll continue doing my best to enlighten the youth, not to give up, not to start listening to people that are lost in the United States of America or in another country that are even scared of coming home simply because they can save $200 all the time. But don't try to turn our back and let us appreciate our government less all the time. Don't do it. You are in the United States of America. Enjoy your America. But don't try to discredit our government for the little they are trying to do, because at the end of the day, what most of you fail to understand is that 98% of Nigerian youths are not even productive anymore, like it used to be. And it's a simple reality. It is the simple reality. So when you're not trying to make it look as if it is the government that is not making them become productive and all, to me it sounds stupid. America, America, stuff like that. Share dollar and naira, share in the same level. For every time they try to make sure dollar equal naira, do you know, have you forgotten what happened to Gaddafi? For every time a leader tries to come up with a system that is going to favor Africa, these people always have their own way of buying one or two people to rebel against the person with good intentions. And at the end of the day, it's fair coup.
Do you spend per month living in New York City?
I don't know, 20 dimes a month.
And how do you spend it?
I spend it on my bills. I got kids, I got a family, go out to eat, go on vacation here and there. I mean, I just spend it. It's expensive to live in New York City. You better have a couple of side hustles. Anybody with one job in New York City, you got major problems. You need 3-4 incomes.
Okay, what are your 3 incomes then? Like, what do you do?
What do I do? I make money selling merchandise. I make money doing promotions for small businesses and businesses. I do brand deals. I do some